back with another episode. You know who it is. It's KG Money Green. Who I got to right?
Don't let the connect.
Who I got to her right?
Keisha Liburd.
And we are in a different location, outside, under the trees, getting some oxygen, getting some nature. First, great to have you. Thanks for being on the show. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
All right, everybody. My name is Keisha. I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but I've been in Atlanta for 8 years. How I got here, everybody always asks me that, is I came here for grad school. I went to Scott, I got my master's, and then I never left. I fell in love with Atlanta. And I currently have my own marketing agency here in Atlanta called the TCH Agency, where I work with a lot of events, creatives, and brands to do various marketing activities, from content creation to social media management to videography, photography, graphic design, you name it, we do it. So yeah.
Lit. I guess my first major question is creating the agency out here in Atlanta. How do you feel like you stand out in comparison to everyone else?
Honestly, I think it started off with, I would say, being me, having the personal touch of a Keisha on your team, because 9 times out of 10, I'm wearing the hats of multiple people. So I come in and fill the gap that people need on their marketing team. Usually, even if they're hiring me for one function, you can't really do a lot of the things I do. You can't do one thing without the other. So like, I just operate that way.
Yeah.
But more so, I think it's just the work we do with TCH has a way of capturing and highlighting people in their most authentic forms, most like events. It's that feeling of FOMO, making you want to be there, but it's from a real standpoint. It's not going to be, polished in the sense of like it feels fake.
Right.
But when you're watching it, you feel like you're really a part of the experience or the moment. So yeah.
I know for me, I guess going back to not necessarily the position you're in now, but what got you into the position that you're in now, and the confidence that you have to present your companies and to not necessarily pitch, but describe what you actually do in a unique way. So with that being said, my question to you is, how did that grow along your journey of, I'm going to SCAD, I know I want to do this, but now in more of a sense, I'm confident to explain exactly what I can offer to you in this project?
I think honestly, I gotta go all the way back to undergrad with that one. I went to North Carolina A&T, and I just feel like at an HBCU, they really pride you on having a certain demeanor and stature. So like everywhere you go, you're introducing yourself to the world around you.
Exactly.
Like so, you have to that elevator speech, that getting that very concise and to the point, because a lot of the times people have a lot of good things to say, but they don't know how to say them. So they'll just find themselves running on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like, no, they didn't go for any of that. You have your 15 seconds. You better get your spiel together and present yourself properly, because sometimes that's all you're going to have coming across somebody is a handshake to really let people know who you are and what you do. So I think it's definitely involved in terms of my confidence, but like that's where it started. I think the journey of just becoming, I became naturally more confident as I felt like more empowered by what I'm doing, and that I was actually good at what I'm doing. It took me a while to see that like I was good at what I'm doing, but now I'm like, no, I am good. Like I know what I deliver, I know what I bring to the table. So now it's about like that's ownership. So I have ownership, so I walk with that.
To kind of piggyback off of that, how did you start discovering what were your strengths? Like, where did it come from? Was it internal, internal recognition where you're like, okay, I know for a fact this is something I'm good at because I put in the time, or was it other people letting you know, hey, when you come onto this project, like you light up this environment with X, Y, Z, A, B, C?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think it definitely started externally. Like I'm not gonna act like I just knew what I was doing, because like I think even now, like when I was pricing in the beginning, like I wasn't even thinking about like pricing for a skill set. Like the way I started was now, and especially how I've come into the lane of like shooting content creation for a lot of events, was very organic, because like I knew back in 2020, like when Reels and TikToks were a thing, like I wrote about it, like I researched on it, and like this is gonna be a good thing. And then like I just started doing a series called Those Spaces, Those Places, where I would go out to events, because people used to see me outside. Like I have a very active social life, so I'm outside a lot, and people would be like, oh my god, they'd see my story, like, where you at, what are you doing, like this is so much fun. And so then I started creating a series of events around Atlanta, just doing content creation, like just showing up, capturing an event, and that eventually led me to more opportunities to do it professionally.
Mm-hmm.
That has now gotten me here where I am now today on that side. Like I've been doing the social media marketing piece professionally, like on my own. I was freelancing, and then I also worked in corporate doing this for a global tech company for several years before I came back into doing this as a full-time entrepreneur. And so I think all of those experiences allowed me to gain confidence. I think from the strategy and strategic side of things, I definitely got that. I think in corporate America, because I was able to kind of see, like, I knew I had it, but like once you get the opportunity to really put it in motion, you kind of then start to feel like, oh, okay, like I can see the impact of things I'm doing. I am, creating campaigns that are creating impact. And so now, um, just again as a full time entrepreneur, like you have to know that because you have to know your worth. Because if you don't know your worth,
Facts.
you will be getting whatever people give you, and sometimes that's not enough.
That's facts for real.
That's a hell of a gem.
Now look, know your worth, ask your worth always. You got to know your price because people will tell you your price, and it probably won't align with what you need.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, can you take us into your mind of when you're about to create an event? And what is your ideal target for that audience? How that look like?
So with actually coming up and curating an event, I think my experience definitely been more direct now with the recent event I started with Nights Like This. And I think first and foremost is figuring out just what the story is. Like it took us over a month to kind of figure out what we were going to do. What like the opportunity was presented to us, we had to figure out what we were going to do.
Yeah.
And so like it was really just spitballing back and forth. Like, what do you think about this? This is a line. Like really just looking at what's in the market, what kind of spaces are existing. So definitely always go back to that. But I know it seems like annoying, but like going back to that stuff you're talking about in your business classes, like that market level analysis, like really looking around you, looking at the space, like yes, you could do something that's already been done and do it well. So like I don't discourage people if you have a concept and something similar already is in existence. That doesn't mean you can't do it differently with your edge and get the crowd that you need. But I think it's just understanding things, even from an economical standpoint. Like we're in a recession. Like people don't have a lot of bread to spend. So even when you're thinking about those ticket costs, thinking about your overhead, thinking about, where even you giving and taking,
Right.
from the event, or what are your goals? Like I think all those things have to be a part of what you're ideating when you're trying to figure it out, and it can't just be to make money. Like like literally events, yes, you can make good money, fast money, but if you want it to last, if you want your experience to be something that people will talk about, like you need to make sure the experience above all else is what people think about at the end of the day, not how much it cost them to get a drink, not how much it cost them to park. Like when they came in, did they have a good enough time that makes them forget about all that other stuff so they want to come back and keep being a part of it, or, returning, telling their friends, posting on TikTok about it, because people want to know at the end of the day how you made them feel. Like that is a real bar. That is the most powerful thing to tap into. So it's like, how do you create that feeling? And once you create that feeling, then it's just marketing it and, getting people to come back again and again and again because they want that feeling.
That's real. So going into that consistency, like I know that's a difficult thing to build, not just within yourself, but revolving around a team. So like when it comes to your mindset on how you approach trying to be as consistent as possible with the environments that you're trying to create, how does that look like from an internal aspect? Like what do you have to tell yourself to keep going?
Oh, I'm a deadline person, so I think really everything comes. I do kind of approach most things with like a project management mindset of like, this is the date of the event for anybody that I market with.
Yeah.
This is their goals. These are the things that have to happen in this order. So whether it's flyers in by this time, okay, you want to run an ad. That means we need to turn out a promo video by this time at the latest, because approvals. Maybe we got to go through rounds of edits, and then you still got to go through pushing it through Facebook ads and getting it out there. So it's like really it's just I have a project a project management mindset, and I just have to like stick to that. And I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect and consistent, like for myself personally, but for my clients, absolutely. Like yes,
Yeah.
I'm the like every entrepreneur, I'm the person that has to give myself the pep talk. Like okay, like I'm now like at a point where I'm like okay, there's certain levels that you want to reach. Like you're a social media manager, you're managing all these pages, but your business' social media page is not as active as it should be. So now I'm like, okay, you gotta like I've been taking the steps to get certain things in order because it's like, okay, like I gotta be consistent myself at the same thing I coach my clients on.
Yep.
Right.
Practice what you preach.
Exactly.
So I remember back in college, it was a class that always stood out to me that I had to take industrial psychology, dealing with people's egos and stuff like that. How do you feel like on a daily basis you're able to work with people's egos and their personalities and be able to still provide them amazing service?
Sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath and go find it. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I be having to find it sometimes, but like it's not always about responding immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
So
a key
I
point.
think sometimes it is about me taking a second. I've learned through situations to listen and just take time. Like I've had time being a leader. So like there's things you knew from being a leader of somebody else's things, but when you're a leader of your own thing and now it's a more interpersonal where like your direct communication with your clients and how you know speak with people um as an entrepreneur, it's like that, you know, makes or breaks sometimes even landing a contract or anything. So it's also just being mindful to know that this is also business. It's not personal. Like now I'm not gonna say that some people move personally in business because they do in terms of how they interact with the others around them and that can impact the communication piece.
Right.
But when you learn that no, not every no is personal, or even if somebody is, you catch a tone, you know, through a message or a response, like not I've worked to not meet people where they are, but rather to maintain my demeanor in spite of that. And that's been a journey because I'm not gonna act like you know it hasn't happened before. Like you know we're all human, and I think there are situations that I look back on that could have been handled differently, but it was handled very humanly, and you know it happened how it did.
Wow.
But I'll never sit here and ever say that I'm perfect or act like I haven't made mistakes in the process of becoming a part of this thing that I've been building.
Yeah. I guess on a more personal piece outside of business and everything else, what has your transformation looked like from your eyes? Like when you sit back and be like, dang, you was just girl, you just was learning how to do this and you was just learning how to do that and you was just putting out your first and now I'm here with XYZ ABC. Like how does it feel when you look back at your journey and what you've been able to accomplish thus far?
I think I've been looking back more now. I think for me, I've had a recent situation just kind of change my perspective of like how I view my life. Like I lost my mom recently, and so for me, it's definitely caused me to take, thank you, you know, more stock of the things that I've done and the impact of them because like I've always had a mission that's been centered on impacting others, but it's really made me think about that. But I think I've just been in the more reflective state now to be like, oh, I was just talking with my friend the other day, and I was like, you know, I remember where I was August 2023 and what
Wow.
my mental was like and the things I was battling. And like here I am a year later, still going, still reaching new heights, having worked with a lot of people that have been on my little checklist. You know, you have like your goal list of
Right.
clients to work through. So now I'm like, okay, new levels. I need to get some new goals going. But I think it's been amazing to look back just to see how much I've built for myself, even though there's still so much more to go that I want to build for others. And that's really the phase two now is really just building to really create a space for others to thrive.
So how does that phase two look?
Um, for me, phase two really is just having the trust piece to take my hands off a lot of the areas that I've been touching personally in my business, and allowing other people to step in and fill them, like, and having like, letting them shine because that's kind of been like the main goal of my business once I restarted things. Because I started Cameron Creates 2020, and I was doing it like kind of part time while I was working in corporate. But when I relaunched it and changed the name as CCH Agency, like I just had a different vision. Like I knew it wasn't about me. That's also why the name changed because it's not about Keisha. It's not about just eat my. That's like that was like an ego check. Like this is bigger than me, so it needs to have a name that's bigger than me because it's not about me.
We say
And
that
that
all
was
the
like
time.
something that God gave me. Like it wasn't like that. I can't even talk about my journey without talking about God, because He's had the biggest hand in guiding me and steering me and keeping me and just keeping me going through everything. And I think that just knowing it wasn't about me at this point, it's not about me. Now it's taking my hand off and just giving people the reins. That like there's been people who have wanted to help and I've been like, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm like it was I was working in my business and now it's time for me to be a businesswoman.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
First of all, put that on the
I
back of the
like
shirt.
that.
so yeah, I've worked with people here and there, contracted people for little things, but now I want to move to where I'm doing that more often and like just calling the shots, overseeing the editing, but allowing other people to do the things they're good at, where we all can win from it.
Mhm. So I guess for me, what was what was that moment you knew you were walking in your purpose and your passions?
Mm. I can't say that it was one moment. I don't think it's one moment.
That's
I
true.
think God continues to send me reminders through signs and people, and because we all need reassurance, so like I'm definitely
Facts.
somebody who asks for them, and I think I do receive them. um I feel like every time I'm at a point where like every day I go back and I say this is like I'm not somewhere I would have ever imagined for myself. Like if you had spoke to me 4 years ago and you asked what I'd be doing and the life that I would be living, I wouldn't have put this on my bingo card. And it's funny because I remember tweeting in grad school that like I wanted to have my own agency one day,
Right.
but I didn't see it coming like this. I didn't see it coming in this way. So that's funny that like you tell God your plans and He laughs, and like sometimes He gives them to you,
Yeah.
and it won't be in the way that you imagine. But like I think everything has been foundational for me to understand where I'm at now, to get to next now. Like I think it's like, okay, there's certain things I had to learn and keep understanding. And then once I finally mastered those lessons, now it does really feel like I'm stepping into a new chapter, a new season. And so, yeah, like leveling up.
All
I
right.
like that.
You have any follow-up question before we get into this bucket list challenge?
Ooh.
That's a great question.
We always get that ooh response every time.
Yeah, people get nervous when the bucket come out. Last question before the challenge. I guess when it comes to that vision you're trying to emulate within your actions and your presence here, in the now, what does that vision reflect to the overarching community surrounding
Mm.
Sorry, let me make sure I understand your question. So you're saying, what does my vision look like to the people around me, or how does it like intertwine them?
Intertwine.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure I understand. I was like, let me make sure I understand this question correctly. For me, I think it really is just community. Like my vision is to create an ecosystem that will allow women of color, creatives of color, to have a sustainable like work career. Like, and even if it's just a starting point for them. Like I think for me, that's not something I saw growing up. Like, you're encouraged to go be a doctor or be in med school, but you're not necessarily always encouraged to go the more creative route, whether it's visually, whether it's a marketing standpoint. Like, those aren't necessarily what we're pushed to do. It's like, especially, for me coming from, my dad he like, technically I'm like first gen immigrant. He was from St. Kitts and Nevis, and got a citizenship later on. And like, that's not what we're told to do. We're told to like, go be a nurse, go be a doctor, go be an engineer, something stable. So you're not. So like for me, it's like if I can show people there's a different way to do life, that allowed you to enjoy some of the things you love, even if hey you're only doing this part time and you still have something else you're doing. Like I'm not gonna be the person to tell you to quit your job. I quit my job doesn't mean you need to,
Right,
but
exactly right.
so like it's different strokes, there's different ways to do it. But I think for me again, my vision is just about community, creating an ecosystem, creating a space that really just again allows people to thrive and survive, as creatives, and not just survive and get by. So yeah.
I love that.
For sure. First, that was a great note to get into the challenge anyway. If you didn't know,
Now you know.
exactly, that is my next statement.
Oh.
This is the bucket list challenge. I give the same introduction to this challenge all the time. First, y'all need to comment, subscribe, give us some questions that y'all want us to put in the bucket. If you've never seen it, this is a part of the episode where we just ask questions that we build up over a course of years that we don't ever really know what we're going to ask. And here we go.
Ooh.
We're going back virtual. All right.
Butterfly. Sorry.
No, that's actually.
I love butterfly. I know they're like good signs. Like no, that's why I was like, oh, so beautiful.
And it was yellow.
Right. Okay. So look, make me feel a little bit better. Like.
First question, easy work, easy, simple question. Not too difficult. Would you?
see, now you want to give it up.
It's so simple. Like,
all right, what's it?
The impact be like, all right, he about to.
Now you about to see me break my little mojo. Okay, let's go.
Would you rather be able to fly for one day, or be completely invisible for one day?
I see. You know what? I think I would want to fly. I feel like, you know, there is the nosy part of me, but like I honestly don't want to know. I feel like everything I need to be revealed to me is always revealed to me. That's one. So I don't need to even try to do no invisibility thing. But I think being a little Miss Outside, being able to fly for a day, I can get to everywhere I want to go, and I don't have to sit in this Atlanta traffic. Like what? Yes, like I can literally do so much. Like I don't know how fast I can fly, but like in my head, at least you know. I can move a little bit to get some weight.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, okay, it is one day, right?
Yeah.
So whether I fly and I'm on my 23rd hour and I'm stuck somewhere, and I gotta purchase my flight back because like I don't got enough flight left.
You were thinking big. I was thinking like I don't know because it might take me some hours. So I was like, okay, where can I go in Atlanta? I'm gonna plan out my Saturday and I'm making it to every stop I want.
Imagine leaving Kroger with some groceries. Like, gotta
last.
I was definitely thinking about going overseas for sure. Getting stuck is crazy though.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way that tells me what speed I'm flying. Yeah. That's why I'm not thinking. I'm looking from like a local perspective, only based off of the time. I don't know how fast I'm getting somewhere.
That's right.
Okay, next question. We ain't never asked this one. This is actually a surprising one.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Would you rather be a wizard or a vampire? That's a crazy question.
Wait. I'm not gonna lie. I got my answer already. I can't.
First of all, that's a crazy question. I don't know how we got that one.
I feel like I'm judging you if you say vampire.
I don't want to be a vampire.
I'm gonna say wizard because you know I can make up my own reality. Like yes, there's obviously bounds and limits in terms of like how you use your magic, but like you can do so much social good with that too. Like it's just like people always think of powers and they go straight like evil, and I'm like, but like what about all the good things that we could do with you know the capabilities? Like with great you know things come great responsibility, but like yeah, man. But I'm not gonna hold you. There also might be some dumb stuff that I would just do just because I could. Like I'm absolutely gonna make like some I don't know like a glitter fountain, which I know sounds random, but like I don't know. I just would love to see that. Like I would love to see a glitter fountain. It's just like or like a room of like floating books. Oh,
that'd be fun.
Yes, like a floating book
and then
room.
They just come to you.
Yes, and then like yes, like that's the type of I'm on. Like the nerd in me is like yes, I am living.
That's fact. Dang, that's a good point. You know, I was thinking this a completely different way. I was gonna say Wizards.
Okay.
But just because of Wizards of Waverly Place, like they had so many good adventures, I was like, let me join in on the fun.
No, that's real.
But no, I definitely would do a book.
I'm still pick magic and wizard, but also let me talk about why vampire might be cool. I still thought, I guess vampire you get to live longer, so you get to build more wealth for a longer period of time.
I guess, yeah.
For who? Yourself?
Your family.
Oh, okay.
You know, you can, right? Maybe if I have to pick vampires.
Should you have a family full of vampires?
Like technically, when I have to.
Or you're just gonna have them like sign off. You're gonna have like a ghost name for your company that so it signs off to the human side of your family. Like,
see, that makes it seem more evil, don't it?
Right? No, it's not evil. It's just like I don't know. I feel like being a vampire is very self-serving.
And you gotta live a long time though.
You gotta drink blood. Like, at what point does this really become about the common good, or is it more so like somebody who just wasn't want to accept death?
Dang. Well, you know, there are a lot of people that love Vampire Diaries out there, the originals. So shout out to y'all.
I remember
saying that. I do I love a good vampire show. Interview with a Vampire, the newest version that just came out, is so good.
How long? You right. But dude, you get to well, what's the thing? Wesley Snipes and Blade. He was a day walker. That's getting too specific.
yeah.
So he was a vampire that could walk during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had like a special thing that allowed him to do that, correct? Like a talisman or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody that's been a day walker has had like some type of talisman that allows them to move throughout the day, but it's still a very lonely life when you think about it.
Yeah.
Unless you selfishly take somebody, which I mean, you can say when you get married, you know, it's forever and ever, but we also know that one day we die. So like that's a random side note that's on my head, like thinking like if people knew that they would live forever, would they still pick the same spouse? But my brain,
First of all, we need to put that in.
like my brain went there. I was like, well, now that the wheels are turning.
So what are your real life choices?
Like literally,
Well,
you still want to be a vampire?
Dang, that's real.
And to add to that point with the vampire, you did say like you live a lonely life, but they do also have the option every day to go outside during the sun.
So now I gotta take myself out.
They could.
How crazy that
They
is?
could take themselves out. At any point, it can get too long. You're like, you know what? I'm tired of this. But they never. But they never.
And you know it's painful.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing about this. Like everything about this is just not good. I'm sorry. You can't convince me otherwise.
All right. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. We got a random one I can ask. All right. Simple question. Not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be surprised with flowers or taken out on a nice date? But it has to be surprised. You don't know. Which will make your day better?
Dang, I think both are good gestures. But probably a date just because it's like you get to spend more time with the person. Like I think flowers are cool. Like I love flowers. Like I'm always gonna be happy to receive them. Honestly, I'm like yes, flowers. But I think from just wanting to spend time from a quality standpoint, or like a date, you just no matter what you get to do, you get to spend time with your person. So like you just get to be with them. So like yeah.
I was gonna pick date too. Well, so I don't think. Do guys really get flowers? I ain't never got a flower.
Oh, I didn't give it. You listen. I think I buy men flowers every now and again.
Do guys get flowers?
When they
I never got
give them gifts. Dang.
Yeah, you gotta.
When they act right, give them gifts.
Sometimes.
Not
I haven't just done this. Like I haven't given it like this to everybody. No, like I give out flowers because like men don't get flowers. So like I think it's good to give your friends flowers, like physical flowers.
Yeah, I feel like there should be nothing wrong with that because of where it's coming from. Like if you know the intention is to be like, bro, I'm really just showing you respect for what you do. Those flowers don't have to be physical flowers, but you can still do a gesture to be like, bro, I appreciate you.
Well,
and it be mutually recognized.
Yeah, whatever their thing is.
Everybody
might not be flowers. They might have allergies. Like, you know?
Send some Zotex and a flower one day. You know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, I'm kidding. Sorry, I can help myself. But he just pulls out. No, I did not come with flowers today, guys.
That'd be crazy.
Right. Didn't know, but out here. No, sorry, guys. Maybe next time.
All right. So this is our last final question where we always ask.
Okay.
You know, our motto is you only live once, so let's make an impact now. How you gonna leave an impact on this world?
By being a light and empowering others to be lights to other people. Like I think it all starts with the little day-to-day actions and empowering others around me. Just how I live my life authentically, like truly, like probably unhinged to some people at times. But I think the greatest impact that you can leave in this world is just really by leading with love, leading with kindness, and like just giving that to other people. Because like those little compliments, those little things that you get from day to day, like you just never know what people are dealing with.
Right,
and
exactly.
Sometimes that's the stuff that holds them together. So like be a light and empower other people to have a light.
I agree with that. It's harder than it looks.
Sorry, y'all.
Well, you good.
So with that being said, where's everybody able to find all your social medias, contacts, emails?
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, good.
Jeez.
Shout out to water, first and foremost.
Don't rush it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You okay?
It's still there. Like, come on, man.
Oh, it's tickling your throat?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
I was doing so good. Oh my gosh.
You're still doing great.
Ooh, my eyes water.
We all been there, exactly. Yeah. I was doing it earlier.
Thank you. All right, I'm coming back. Not my eyes watering. I thought I was back.
You ain't gonna die.
No.
You might cough, but you ain't gonna pass out.
Jeez. All right.
There we go.
I've come back from the final moments.
She said,
Tried to take me out.
I was just about to say
Right.
that. They tried to take you out.
Right at the end too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
But you made it through. And that's what
exactly.
matters.
Every day I had to fight. Sorry, y'all. I'm unserious.
So where can they find all their social medias and Instagrams?
Oh man. Okay. So you can follow me at Keisha's World. That's KEISHAWRLD_. And you can follow my business at Work with TCH. WORK with WIDH and then TCH.
For sure.
And it'll also be added to all of the description below.
Great, because just in case you couldn't hear me because I'm fighting for my life, it's going to be on there. Yeah.
And with that being said, look, there's a lot of amazing gems dropped this episode. We're gonna definitely get the editor. Every time you say a gem stops. Get your quote right there.
Oh, thanks.
Well, with that being said, look, it's KG Money Green. Who do I got to the right?
It's Download the Connect.
And who do I got to the right of her?
Keisha.
And y'all always remember to stay blessed and, get outside. Probably sit out, get a bench outside. Get some air. We out.
Hey, bye.